Hey everyone, welcome to another factoring video, and today we'll be learning how to use the difference of two squares. So you can see the general formula on the left. It is x squared minus b squared equals a minus b times a plus b. And the reason this works is because if you use the distributive property to multiply these parentheses out, you're gonna be left with a squared minus b squared. There's not gonna be a term that's just ab. Everything's gonna be squared. Hence the name difference of two squares. Okay, so let's start off with an example. Our first example is x squared minus 16. So the first thing I want you guys to do is to find your a. Now your a is just going to be the square root of term number 1. So our term number 1 is x squared. So if we square root x squared, we're just going to be left with x. So our a is equal to x. Now let's find our b term. Our b term is just going to be the square root of 16. Not negative 16, just 16. Because we're going to have our negative sign in the middle anyway, so you can just leave the numbers as they are. So our square root of 16 is just 4. So our b is going to be 4. And now you just apply these. Now you just apply the property, right? So our a is x. So we're going to have x minus 4 times x plus 4. Okay, and if you guys want to make sure you can distribute it, and our answer is going to lead back to the original equation. Sorry, not an equation. Okay, and now let's start off with an example number 2. It's a little more challenging, but I think you guys can do it. It is 9y squared minus 25. So let's use the same method. Let's find our a. Our a is going to be the square root of 9y squared. 9y squared. So the square root of 9 is just 3, and the square root of y squared is just y. So our a is going to equal to 3y. Now for our b, let's find the square root of 25, which is super simple. It's just going to be 5. Square root of 25 is equal to 5. So now that we identified that the a, which is 3y, and the b, which is 5, we can just apply the difference of two squares. So we're going to have 3y minus 5, and we're going to have 3y plus 5. Okay, now let's do question number 3, which has a little larger numbers. So again, let's start with finding the a term. The a term is just going to be the square root of 49, a to the power of 4. 49 a to the power of 4. Now the square root of 49 is just 7, and the square root of a to the power of 4 is actually a squared. Don't forget, because the index of this radical is 2 because it's the square root. And now let's find our b term, which is just going to be the square root of 36 b squared. So the square root of 36 is 6, and the square root of b is b. Now that we have our a and the b, let's apply the difference of two squares. So we're going to have 7a squared minus 6b, and we're going to have 7a squared plus 6b. a squared plus 6b. Okay guys, take some notes, and now we're going to move on to a question that's a little bit more difficult. Okay, now for the bonus question, we're going to have x to the power of 8 minus 256. So let's use the same process and identify our a. Just this, again, the square root of x to the 8, which is equal to x to the power of 4. And now if we do the same thing, we find our b term. It's going to be the square root of 256. And if we do the square root of 256, we're going to get 16. So okay, let's apply the difference of two squares. So we have x to the power of 4 minus 16 and x to the power of 4 plus 16. Now we can recognize that x to the power of 4 minus 16 can actually be factored again using the difference of two squares. And same goes for x to the power of 4 plus 16, but if we factor x to the power of 4 plus 16, we're going to have to use imaginary numbers, and I'll go over that in later videos. So for now, we're just going to leave x to the power of 4 plus 16 as it is. Okay, so x to the power of 4 minus 16. The square root of x to the power of 4 is just x squared, and the square root of 16 is just 4. So we're going to have x to the power of 2 minus 4 times x to the power of 2 plus 4. Okay, and as you guys can see, x to the power of 4 minus 16 split up into here. But x to the power of 4 minus 16 is just going to stay as it is for now. And can you guys recognize anything else with this answer? So it's supposed to be a plus. That we again have x to the power of 2 minus 4, which is again a difference of two squares. So x to the power of 2 minus 4 can be split into the square root of x squared, which is just x, and the square root of 4, which is just 2. So x to the power of 2 minus 4 will split into x minus 2 and x plus 2. So again, we get two sets of parentheses out of this one set over here. Okay, and now let's just write everything that stays the same. X squared plus 4 and x to the power of 4 plus 16. Okay, and this will be our final answer, guys. So you see, sometimes when you factor by the difference of two squares, there will be multiple steps, but in the end you should always get the simplest, most factored form. In the next video, we're going to go over how to factor using the difference of two cubes and the sum of two cubes. So I hope I'll see you in those videos. Have a great day and goodbye.